Love you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. It is 2025, and this is the first episode of the year of Brad and Mira for the Culture. I'm Brad Listi, and I'm here with Mira Gonzalez.
What up?
Hi, Mira.
Happy 2025.
I guess. I feel like it's like become kind of annoying because you wish people Happy New Year, and then you have to kind of inflect it with like a question mark. And,
Happy 2025.
yeah, like I guess. Like it just feels like apocalyptic and shitty, but here we are, and we are coming out of the holiday season, which, it's always a little bit loaded emotionally. It's always a little bit stressful for me. I don't like getting my rituals like disrupted, my normal schedule. I just like to do my normal shit. I don't want to have to like stop doing that stuff. But I guess it's maybe good for me because it forces me to get out of my comfort zone.
Do you have to not hike one time in your fucking life?
Oh, no, I hiked. I always hike. Like, here's the thing. I do that so early in the morning that nobody messes with me. Nobody's even up. I'm out the door.
That's so psychotic. That's so insane.
Yeah, it's like it's my mental health routine. But
it makes my mental health actively worse. Like that.
Did you have good holidays?
Holidays were pretty good. Yeah, they were exhausting. Very exhausting, as holidays often are. But you know, it's nice to get together with all my siblings and family and hang out. And
wait a minute. Between Thanksgiving, because we talked about Thanksgiving back when Thanksgiving happened, and you were kind of describing the hell of it. I'm curious to know, like between Thanksgiving and Christmas/Hanukkah, is there a holiday that you find more taxing than the others? Like, is Thanksgiving worse than?
Yeah,
Thanksgiving's worse.
Taxing, yeah, because like Christmas is like I'll go to my mom's house like in the morning and we'll like hang out for a bit, and then like my grandpa will come over and hang out or whatever. This was like a little bit harder because there was like a Christmas Eve dinner and then a Christmas Day thing, and like the Christmas Day thing lasted a long time. But generally, like, Thanksgiving is much larger. There's, like, much more family there. There's a lot of cooking to do. There's, like, Christmas is usually, like, a little bit more chilled out.
How'd you do on food? Like, I feel like Christmas, too, there's all these sweets around. You're just eating shitty food all the time.
Somehow it is not because anyone in my family is a bad cook. I come from, like, a long line of great cooks. But somehow I always end up leaving holiday things like still hungry, like something about like the stress of it and like the family and having to like talk to everyone and do all this stuff. Like I just don't ever want to eat that much. And then I come home and I'm like, I'm like still kind of hungry. That's weird.
We had lunch together. I actually got to see Mira. And for people listening, Mira and I text a lot and we do this show every week, but I rarely see Mira in the wild. And we got to have lunch. It was me and Mira and her husband, Tyler, and then our friend, Melissa Broder, who some of you listening may know, the author Melissa Broder. We got together. We went to Cafe Gratitude.
We did. It was that was Brad's choice, not Melissa.
It was the only place that had a table, like on short notice, and it's a vegan restaurant. And every single, for people listening who don't have frame of reference, how do we even describe Cafe Gratitude? It's like a vegan place that's kind of like, annoying and weird.
Like if you've watched Annie Hall or the Source Family documentary, and you remember the Source Family health food restaurant on Sunset Boulevard that was like, it would be like, oh, we're going to serve you like sea moss with like a side of like pickled like radishes or some shit like that. Like that's like Cafe Gratitude. And every dish is not just called like the Caesar salad or like the green smoothie. It's called like, I am grateful. I am whole. I am spiritual. And like you have to say that sentence, otherwise the waiter doesn't know what you're talking about. So it's humiliating every time.
Yeah, and back in the day, I don't think this didn't happen to us when we were there, but the waiters used to like pose a question to your table, like, what are you resisting?
They'd be like, you want the question of the day? And I'd be like, sure thing. It was like a trivia question. They'd be like, what do you like about your friends? Like, what the fuck? Like, I thought this was going to be like a fucking trivia question where I win a gift card if I guess it. Like, I don't care about this shit.
Yeah, I'm resisting you. I don't want to hear this bullshit.
Resentful is what I am.
I'm trying to have lunch. Yeah, I'm bitter. I'm bitter and resentful.
Bitter and mad. I'm tired.
Just leave me alone.
Like, we did a white elephant.
Oh,
which I didn't know what that was, and I don't think any of us did because we really just only brought gifts enough to give each other. And I think there's supposed to be like a pile of them, but Brad, let them know what I gave you.
I got a corn hat. For those of you who watched our Halloween episode, I got like a beautifully crocheted, and I should add, very warm hat that looks like
Yeah.
a corn on the cob. It's like a winter hat that looks like a corn on the cob.
Yeah, it's not really like a wearable for anything practical, but you can put it on your head.
Yeah, I mean, it's in our house now. The kids play with it. It's like,
Wow.
yeah, maybe we'll let the dog wear it. So yeah, so holidays. My holidays were good. I was on a CBD ritual. I was kind of telling you about this because, yeah, the holidays I get like, I think maybe it's because it's December and it's dark here in the northern hemisphere and the days are short and it's just kind of like, what am I going to do? I don't want to be an asshole. So I was like, okay, you know what? I just need to chill out. I'm going to take CBD and like a very like micro dose of THC, like a gummy that's like mostly CBD, but is like a micro dose of
That's
THC.
so small.
Yeah, like 1 milligram, like the smallest possible thing because I'm
But
very
like a couple milligrams of CBD though.
Oh, like 20 milligrams.
Yeah.
Like a heavy, like it was like 20 milligrams of CBD and like 1 milligram of THC is the thing that I got. And I gotta say, like I didn't get any complaints. I think it helped me navigate the holidays a little bit. I kind of relaxed a little bit at night, So I'm like,
Is
maybe
that something you're gonna make an everyday thing?
I don't want to, but it's like, am I a better person? Is this making me a better person? Like, look at Willie Nelson. He's like 98 and he's still going. He's got a sense of humor. His wits are about him.
I mean, look, Brad, you don't have any vices, so I think that 20 milligrams of CBD per day is not gonna kill you or anybody else, or I don't think anyone will even notice, honestly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't want anybody to notice and I don't want to feel anything, but I want to be better somehow. Like, that's
not really a thing. You kind of can't get better without feeling things.
Yeah. But listen, I like during the whole election, all the tension of that season, I totally raw dogged it. Like I was talking to a friend of mine and he's like, yeah, I took like 11 gummies on election night. I was like, yeah, I did. Like, it didn't even occur to me. And I was like, oh yeah, like I've been totally sober the whole time. And he was like kind of like almost offended by it. He's like, how are you doing that? Why?
Yeah. I mean, like, why is it's not like offensive, but why?
and I didn't even have a drink, like nothing. I just didn't, it wasn't on my mind, but I don't know, like just as a sleep aid or like some way to kind of like transition from work to like actually having an evening like mode that is not, it's like super hyperactive. Maybe like CBD is good. I don't fucking know. Who knows?
I think it helps people like a lot, and I think like it for me, like I mean, like, if I get too stoned, I'll just be like, I want to watch shitty movies or whatever the fuck. But like, if I'm like smoking like a normal amount of weed per day, like it makes my brain stop going like, oh, here's a thought. Oh, I'm jumping this thought. It just kind of like focuses it in on like one thought. Like, oh, I'm thinking about this. Now I'm thinking about this, instead of just like jumping through a web of like a million unhelpful ideas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Maybe it'll become part of my new routine. I mean, you've been interacting with me over the past month. Like, do you like me better over the past month?
Yeah, Brad, you were a really shitty person before, and it was like, wow, like Brad just like sucks. But then you started taking, a micro dose of probably like subpsychosis,
definitely subpsychosis, but also like
psychosis, but also like sub feeling anything dose. Like, yeah, you've become good Brad now.
Well, this is not true. I can slightly feel it, but it does not affect in a meaningful way my interactions with people or my ability to like function in the world, which is what I want. I don't want to be.
I've noticed zero difference, like at all. You seem like the exact same person.
Damn it! Well, I wanted to be better.
Lunch?
I don't know if I was. I don't think so. I usually don't take it until. This is the other thing. I was timing it so like I would take it at like 4:30 or 5, so that it wouldn't.
A reasonable time. It's like when somebody has a beer or whatever.
Well, just when it would process, so that by the time I went to sleep, it was sort of like fading. I don't want to like do it right before bed or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Because like I want to enjoy the experience. I don't want to sleep through it.
Right, that makes sense. Except you also don't want to experience anything.
Yeah, I don't want to experience anything. I don't want to feel.
You want to feel the experience, but not experience anything too much.
This is the most pointless shit ever. The fact that I'm like, yeah, I want to take it, but I don't want to feel it, but I want to be better.
Back in my day, microdose was just called not taking enough. Like, I don't.
Yeah. but trust me, if you hung out with me and I like took a serious dose of THC, you'd be like, please stop. Don't ever do this again.
I think it'd be really funny. I think I'd like it.
I mean, it'd be funny for like a minute, and then I would like not be able to stop laughing or something, or I'd get paranoid, and
I'd be like, all right, Brad, go home. Your wife can deal with the rest of this.
Yeah, I just called you a driverless taxi, Brad. Go get in the back of it.
It'll take you somewhere. I don't know. Go away.
Go be paranoid in the back of a driverless car. Which, by the way, like, what if, people are too stoned to drive, they get a driverless taxi? That could be stressful.
If you're stoned in a driverless taxi, I don't want to be sober in a driverless taxi. That shit seems scary.
Yeah. What if you want it to stop? Can you stop it? Like, can you just be like, driverless taxi, let me out here? Can you do that?
I don't know. I saw an article the other day about a guy who was in a driverless taxi that just got caught going in a circle over and over again at like LAX or something like that. Just like repeatedly, like in a small circle, and he couldn't get it to stop.
Yeah. What if there was a glitch and like your driverless taxi somehow like rerouted itself like hundreds of miles away or something?
Oh my God.
You're just stuck.
I'm never getting in one of those fucking things. I don't trust them. They scare the shit out of me. I don't even want to be near one in my car. Like, I don't. Call me old, but like, I don't like it.
I feel like that's like a screenplay that's going to be written. There's going to be some sort of like driverless taxi horror movie or something. It's going to be an element.
There's probably already sci-fi movies like that, right?
I don't know. I'm thinking of like, like just like a movie called like Rerouted or like Driverless.
That's a wild name for a movie.
Yeah. Just like they thought they were going to a party, but actually
they're going to Mississippi.
they're going to Biloxi.
Going somewhere 6 hours away. They don't have money for a hotel.
So I went hiking this morning. I had to do an interview before this, so I got up super, super early. It's very windy in Los Angeles today, which I wasn't aware of until I woke up. But I go on my hike, and the wind is blowing like 50 miles an hour. My dog is sort of freaking out. And then at the bottom of the hill, when I'm finishing the hike, I go into the public restroom. And once again, I've talked about this before, there's a man taking a dump in the bathroom, and there are no doors on the stalls because it's a public bathroom at like a city park, and they don't want people in there like shooting up or like hooking up or whatever filthy people do.
Shitting.
Or shitting. Yeah, it's exactly like, don't go number 2. There's no door here. This is just for peeing because we're civilized people, hopefully. But
was he like a homeless person who just needed a bathroom?
No. I put my dog on a stay. Like I sit her outside of the bathroom. She doesn't come in with me because I'm
so crazy that your dog can do that.
Yeah, so she'll sit there and wait for me, and I just got to pee, right? I'm just going to take a leak. I walk into the bathroom. There is a man like about my age, like in his like fitness gear, sitting on the toilet, like on his phone, like reading the news. And I'm just like, oh. And like, I literally was like, oh. And he looks at me like as casually as like I had seen him sitting on a park bench.
Wow.
And I just turned around and left, and it smelled horrible. I'm like, I'm out of here. This is like, we're living in
bold.
That's bold. Just
reading
the news, looking me in the eye, like, yeah, what's the problem here? And I'm like, if you don't know what the problem is, then you need like medical attention.
Was he an old guy?
No, he's my. Well, I mean, I'm old, but like not that old.
Not an old guy. Because like sometimes like you get a really old person, they just have no shame anymore. But no, this is
or like they're incontinent for like for a good reason related to old age. But you know what? Even them, like, time your activities so that you do your business at home and then go to the park. You don't poop in a public restroom where there's no door on the stall.
I mean, it is like really wild. Like, it just doesn't seem pleasant even. Like, why? Like, it's like a dirty bathroom. It's like it's gross. Like, why do you even want it? Like, if it's not like a total fucking emergency or you're like homeless, then why?
Yeah, that's the question that like will keep me up at night. I'm going to have to double my CBD dosage just to process this.
Having dreams about the guy shitting in the park bathroom.
I issue a fairly harsh judgment on people who would do this. I don't get it at all. I don't see a reason for it. Like, if you can't control yourself,
voluntary, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand it.
and there's like an element of it that's kind of creepy and rude too. It's like, dude, like, I'm coming in here to pee and I've got to like look at you with your pants around your ankles and smell this awfulness, and like, I'm just
kind
like,
of like exhibitionist or something. Like,
yeah, it's weird. It's
weird. It's like you gotta have a weird vibe to just like do that, and it's not like your first time seeing a guy shitting at the park either.
No, it's like it's every time I go in there, it's like a horror show. I'm like, what's going to be in here today? And like, I feel like I'm constantly amazed at like people's like lack of discretion. You know what I'm saying? Like, just unbelievable that this person, like, this is the kind of thing, Mira. Like, never in my life have I done this. I cannot imagine a scenario. Like, even if I was having an emergency, I would clench and like waddle to my car and drive home.
I don't understand how someone physically could even make their body do that. Like, I feel like I would like not be able to.
Exactly. And somebody comes in, I would be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, please just give me a moment. And this guy was just like, hey bro, what's up?
Oh my God. I mean, that shit does not happen in girls' bathrooms, I will tell you. Like, that is, I've never once seen somebody shitting in a women's restroom in the park. No. Ever.
There's no door. That means you just pee and then you go home. And like, just manage yourself. Just, when you got to go. Don't people have a system, right?
I mean, yeah, you'd think. It's like not like I'm not like saving up my shits to go to the park, Like, it's not like a like, oh, here's a nice place for me to poop. Like, that's like, it's like a wild choice to make. Like, it seems like a particularly like unpleasant place to poop, if anything.
I almost feel like it would be better to like go outside, like scramble up the hill into the underbrush, and, like, relieve yourself like an animal, because that's what you are.
If you're, then at least people aren't seeing you. Hopefully, like, at least you're like in the bushes then, and like you're not like just like sitting in a public park, like shitting.
But people do that too. I mean, I hate to say this, but it's a city park, so I will see like people bring like tissues and toilet paper up to the park. I mean, like, I'm just like, what is going on with people's gastrointestinal situation? What kind
of situation do you have where it's like you can't even go on a fucking hike without like having a whole thing about it? Like, what the fuck is going on with people?
For those of you listening at home, this is going to be the whole episode. Mira and I just discussing.
Yeah, we planned this. This is the whole episode.
We're kicking off 2025 with an extended meditation on public bowel movements. But it's just what happened this morning, and now here we are, and there's a lot to discuss. I think we have to start by talking about the Golden Globes, just because I think it was the biggest like entertainment, pop culture event of the past couple of days, right? I mean, it's a big moment, and I got to say, there is an irreverence to the Golden Globes that I kind of like. It doesn't take itself too seriously. The Oscars, it's too serious. It's like. And really, the Golden Globes, like these speeches that these celebrities make, often make me like want to vomit. But
yeah, I mean, of course.
And you know what? But at the same time, I kind of like, I can be moved by them too, and I can find myself choking up. Like, it's nice to see anybody get recognized for doing good work, and to like have like a moment in the sun. Like, there's something like universally nice about it when it's really authentic, but. I don't know. It's like this collision of that with like this kind of gross, like bleeding ego and like heightened self-importance or something. You sort of see a big mix of it all. But you, Mira, did not watch the Golden Globes, correct?
I did not. I didn't do my job as a host of a pop culture podcast. And normally I do watch like award shows. Just like, I love the garbage. Like, I'm in it for the trash. I want to see the dresses. I want to see whatever scandal happens. Like, I want to see the engagement announcements. But I think I just like was tired from the holidays or something. And I just fully fucking forgot that it was even on. And then the next day I was like, oh yeah, Golden Globes, look at that. And then you were like, did you watch the Golden Globes? And I was like, no.
But you did watch like some highlights or something?
I did. I saw highlights and like a bunch of tweets and clips about like all the various things about Jeremy Strong's outfit, which is our first item here. So Jeremy Strong wore an outfit. I'm not even totally sure how to describe this, honestly, but I will defend it, even though he looks terrible. I'm into it. I like it.
Well, let's try to describe it for people who didn't see.
So it's like Tiffany blue colored, like a velvet two-piece suit with a cream white turtleneck underneath it, and then a matching velvet Tiffany blue bucket hat, like Jamiroquai. It's a wild choice. He looks completely insane.
Why do you think he did it? Do we have a why?
I think, let's see. I saw.
Oh wait, here it is. Sources exclusively tell Page Six that the Succession star, age 36, wore the hat for a very specific reason. He was covering up his, quote, wild-looking hair for his role in the upcoming Bruce Springsteen biopic, Deliver Me From Nowhere with Jeremy Allen White. So, like, yeah, I get that that's why you wear a hat, but, like, why do you got to wear that hat in that color? That doesn't really explain it.
Yeah, I feel like he just wanted to wear a crazy-ass outfit and should have just leaned into it. Like, I wore it because I liked it.
Yeah, I wanted, or just say, like, I wanted attention.
Yeah, or, like, I don't know, I thought I looked good in it. I liked the outfit. I thought it was fun. I thought it was interesting. Whatever. I mean, like, I think men are often dressed so poorly and so boringly at these award shows that, like, I don't know, I kind of appreciate when a man is just, like, willing to wear something weird and different. Like, it's kind of, like, at least entertaining. It's not just, like, a black two-piece suit, you know? It's, like,
well, if you're going to do it, it seems like an award show's the place to do it, right?
Exactly.
It's like that or the Met Gala. It's like all about trying to like wear some crazy outfit. But I think too, I was thinking about this as I was watching some of the show that like in the age of social media, it's almost like the whole point is to wear something that people will chatter about online. And then B, if you win, it seems like we're seeing more and more celebrities who like really invest time and effort into their speeches. Not always, but oftentimes. That's actually smart.
Yeah, it is smart. It's
like hire a speechwriter and like rehearse that shit because it's good. Like everything is clips. It's all like circulating on TikTok now. It's also,
like if you're gonna be on fucking television giving a speech like this and like you're being honored in this way, you should like at least like live up to the responsibility of that and also have a good speech like prepared in response to it for the people watching. It seems like you're an entertainer. That, you know, would be a natural thing for me if I were doing that.
And yeah, just keep it short. Some of these people drone on or they act like so nervous. And it's like, come on, you're an elite performer. Get it together. Like
I saw Kieran Culkin's speech, how he was just like, I didn't think I was going to win. And I took some tequila shots and I forgot my speech. But like, thanks so much.
Do you like that? Is that what you think what people should do?
I thought it was funny, at least, you know, like I thought he like, it was honest. He was like, I tried to memorize my speech and then I fucked up and I drank a lot. Like it was fast. It was like funny. And then he was off the stage. He was like, thank you. I thought it was fine.
All right. I kind of found it annoying, but I'm easily annoyed.
I mean, it's same generally, but I like Kieran Culkin. I really like Succession. And like, he just seems like a funny guy. Like he just seems like a nice guy. And like, I like him and Jeremy Strong's like, I don't know. It seems like they're just like cursed to constantly forever have like the Kendall fucking Roy like brothership relationship that they always had, which is just like one that's like where they're constantly like bickering with each other. And like it is very funny that Kieran Culkin just kind of like was like, yeah, I'm gonna try my hand at movie acting and like just immediately won a Golden Globe over Jeremy Strong.
I haven't seen Succession, so I don't even know. I have no friend. Yeah, I don't know any, and I haven't seen the movie that Kieran Culkin was in.
I haven't either. It seems kind of shitty.
Yeah, I don't know. But Jeremy Strong, outfit of the night, easily the most talked about outfit that I've been able to observe. Like,
yeah, definitely. Which is saying something as a man. Again, like you dressed as being a dude and having the most talked about outfit of the night is pretty rare.
Wearing like a seafoam green like leisure suit. It's kind of like a Hunter S. Thompson look, but like Hunter S. Thompson, if Hunter S. Thompson was like in a Slim Aarons photograph and was like gay or something.
Right, it's like because he also had the glasses on, right? Like the yellow, like fucking Hunter like Thompson glasses.
The tinted, well, yeah, but like also kind of like those big like tinted glasses that like old people wear in the desert or something.
Right. Why do old people wear those glasses?
cataracts.
Really?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You're just making shit up.
Their eyes hurt. They can't. You get old enough, and like you can't even like have any kind of light hit your cornea. Ariana Grande. Is it Ariana Grande or Ariana Grande?
I want to tell you it's Grande, just like hoping that you would say that to your daughter and she'd laugh in your face, but it is Grande.
Okay, so Ariana Grande says she's, quote, 4 years clean of Botox. She was a Golden Globe nominee.
Yes. That is the wild thing to say. To call yourself clean for Botox is really crazy.
She's trying to get like the sobriety sympathy or something. Like,
yeah, whole chip. Like, oh yeah,
I finally kicked Botox.
I mean, it is, and like you can see it on her face. You can see how her eyebrows are like more expressive, and she's like, her face is more expressive than it's been in the past, and it's probably because she had to do Wicked.
There's something particularly absurd about Ariana Grande using Botox because she looks like she's 12 years old.
Yeah, she looks like she's 12 years old and also starving to death. Like,
oh my god, yeah.
Dude,
I'm looking at this photo of her. Her sternum looks like it's like a washboard. You can like see like
it's her dress is like an inch past her her chest. Like it's like floating off of her because it's too big. It's like it's like her and that Cynthia. Or I don't even know how to pronounce her name, Aviro, something like that. Revo.
Her co-star in Wicked.
Yeah, the one who plays the Elphaba. Like they are like in some kind of like starving to death contest. Like it is fucking insane. Like they're like, oh, this movie healed me. Like they're dying. Like what the fuck is going on? Like it is like, I don't know how there wasn't like continuity issues in Wicked from the weight loss. Like because it's so dramatic. I worry about her, and I don't even know her.
She's 31 years old, and she promised she would be honest with fans should she start using injectables again in the future.
Why? Who cares?
Quote, when I start going again, I'll let you know, she said on the red carpet. I mean it. All right.
You don't need to announce that to people, really, like one way or the other. You can just... Did somebody ask her about her Botox? Is that why she said this?
I think she's like starting her own beauty brand.
She already has her own beauty brand.
Oh, well, yeah. And so she's like, I want to be transparent as a beauty brand founder.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so fucking stupid. Every beauty brand founder on the fucking planet has Botox. That's ridiculous. It's like, it is for sure was for her Wicked part. Like, there was a part in Wicked where she had to, like, show herself, like, specifically emoting with her eyebrows. Like, as, like, a funny thing. Like, see, you're gonna emote with your eyebrows. Like, that was why she didn't get Botox. Like it was that.
It's sort of crazy to me. She's such a tiny little thing. She's like what, 5 feet tall and like 90 pounds. I mean, she's teeny tiny, and yet she's got this gigantic voice. That's so wild.
It is really wild. She's like I mean, and like fucking Cynthia, what's her face? I will admit that over the break I was stoned and tired after Christmas or after New Year's or something like that, and I watched Wicked on my little TV in the bedroom while laying in bed and crocheting. Have you seen Wicked, Brad?
No, my wife and daughter went to like some kind of early screening, and my wife cried because the power of the music or the voices or something.
I mean, so hopefully your wife and daughter don't listen to this, and hopefully they won't take offense if they do, because I like them very, very much. But it was a god fucking awful movie. Oh my god, I hated it so fucking much. It was so fucking annoying. Holy shit, I could not handle it. I could see if you were like a little kid, a young teenager, like I could see it being good. Like I could see liking it, but I really don't like musical theater. I really, really don't. I really, really, really dislike it. And I mean, like the plot of the movie is insane. It doesn't make sense. And like the movie itself is like, the whole thing is that they're being like racist against talking animals in Oz.
Okay. See, I mean, who would want to go see this? Unless you're 12 years old, or, 14.
Watching it in my fucking bedroom, like, even then I had to take a lot of breaks to be like, okay, I'm gonna like go make some food and come back, or I'm gonna like go walk the dogs and come back, because it was just like really unwatchable. Like being in theaters for that whole thing seems like actual torture. Like
Is the music good? Is the music's not good?
No, I mean, the singing is good. They're good at singing, but like the music itself, like, I mean, again, I really dislike musical theater. So like the musical theater voice that people do when they sing musical theater, that's like very specific to musical theater. Like it like gives me like shivers. Like I can't stand it. And like I find it like embarrassing kind of. And then like the songs themselves, like, okay, the one musical that I actually really love is Singing in the Rain. And I like those songs in Singing in the Rain. I think they're kind of catchy and fun. This had none of that. I can't even remember a single hook to any of the songs at all. Like, they're just like nothing. I don't know, like, what the fuck these songs were. And then there's like a whole part in the middle where, like, sorry to just go off on this, but like there's this whole song that the Wicked Witch sings where it's called like Not That Girl, because she's in love with fucking Glinda's boyfriend, and she's like, oh well, I guess he'll never be Glinda, and so he'll never love me. Like, am I supposed to feel bad for her? Like, that's your friend's boyfriend. Why are you thirsting after him? Why are you like so desperate for your friend's boyfriend to like you instead of her? Oh, I'm not that girl. Yeah, bitch, you're not that girl because you're not dating him. So like, I don't feel guilty for you because you're like wanting your friend's boyfriend. She's dating him. That's girl code. Like, hello, who cares? And then it's like, I never thought that I would be like that I would care that much about The Wizard of Oz, and I don't. But I kept watching and being like, this is revisionist history. This is incorrect. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't agree. Like, who decided to make a movie where the Wicked Witch of the West, like, turns out was good, and Glinda was just like an evil cunt for like being like, oh, you shouldn't like burn fucking Dorothy to death or whatever. Like, what the fuck?
Wait, they burned Dorothy to death?
Well, the Wicked Witch tried to, and like the Wizard of Oz was
oh! I thought this was like a totally that would be cool. I'd pay to see that. Just like some smoking red, like ruby red slippers, just like
just fucking on fire, just
just charred.
I mean, have you ever seen Return to Oz? I doubt it, but
no. I watched Wizard of Oz recently because it was
really?
Yeah, like every once in a while. Yeah, it's great. It's
incredible. It's beautiful. Like looking, it's like one of the most incredible looking movies ever. I mean, if you're gonna do Wicked, then you should have to have the poison snow in the poppy field, the asbestos raining down on Ariana Grande, you know, and you should have to be having everybody on speed and not sleeping, you know, and like have like all of these little people in questionable roles that are vaguely offensive. You know, you got to go the whole hog.
When they filmed Wizard of Oz, everybody was on speed?
Oh yeah, they like I mean, it's like they say part of why Judy Garland like had a meltdown kind of is because like they had her when she was very young, like in the studio contract doing Wizard of Oz, and they just like, you know, it was before they had any unions or anything. They just kept her awake on speed all fucking night constantly to film it.
I want to say I read something where back, like she was like 14 years old, I think, when she made Wizard of Oz. And the studio was maybe giving her speed and was also like giving her like a pack or two of cigarettes a day to smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's keeping her awake, making sure, because they also wanted to keep her weight down. So they were like making sure that she was like on speed smoking cigarettes and like not eating anything and just working all fucking day. And if you looked at Ariana Grande, you would think that they had done the same thing to her, but shockingly there are, you know,
she's doing it to herself. She's like, I'll take the speed. Just give me the speed.
She's doing like full character acting. She's like, all right, I'm going to really get into the zone.
Well, it seems like we're entering a new era of like celebritydom where it's like Ozempic and other similar drugs.
Do you think Ariana Grande is on Ozempic?
No, but I think a lot of people, I mean, that was like even like Nikki Glaser, who hosted the Globes, was like, I think she came out and was like, welcome to the Golden Globes, like Ozempic's biggest night, you know, like that was like a joke in the monologue. And I think there are a lot of people taking that stuff. And then I think that, as we've discussed in other episodes, there are like more and more sophisticated plastic surgeries available to the rich and famous. You combine those things and it's like, you know, there's going to start to be like 85-year-olds who look like 30. Like it's going to happen.
It is already happening. I mean, like we're there already. It's like something's wrong. It's
But what's interesting to me is that like, I think that at least for now, there are like barriers in place for people of lesser means and maybe lesser intent. Like most people maybe aren't quite so fixated on how they look because they don't make a living from it, or they're just not as like self-conscious or whatever. But you know, the truth is that most people can't afford to go to like some elite plastic surgeon. Most people can't even afford Ozempic. Like that's expensive, right? So there's going to be like a set of people who look like 20 years younger than their age. And then there's going to be everybody else who just like looks either their age or older because they're like exhausted from working.
I mean, I hate to break it to you, Brad, but we are like big time already there. I mean, like you've taken a look at any celebrities who are your age, they look younger.
Than me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
How old are you, Brad?
I'm 49.
Yeah. Okay, look up like a 49-year-old celebrity. You're going to be like, what the fuck? Like that guy's doing Botox.
Like Brad Pitt's like 63 or something. He looks way younger than me.
Yeah.
He looks way better.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and it's like not even all plastic surgery. It's like, you know, not even all Ozempic, although that is a big part of it. But like, you know, it's skincare. It's
genes.
You know,
it's just genes.
It's, you know, health. It's like having dietitians. It's having like a personal trainer. It's having a chef. It's having like all of these things that are like regular people don't. They're not afforded to these things. You don't get to have these things.
God.
You know, having hair extensions, having eyelash extensions. I mean, there's a million different ways that like a famous person can look better than you.
Well, speaking of a famous person looking better than me, Adrian Brody won Best Actor for his role in The Brutalist.
Which just seems like the most nightmarish movie. Like after Wicked, like The Brutalist seems like the worst in theater experience of all time.
Is it a musical?
No.
Oh.
I mean, not that I know of. No, I don't think so. But it's like literally 4 hours long. Like,
there's an intermission. There's famously, I've been hearing people talk about it. There's an intermission. So you
that's
go.
Fucking insane. That's fucking insane.
Either you have
to sit for a 4-hour movie or you should not make a 4-hour movie. Like either you're going to send that movie to the box office and it's going to get the ratings that it gets, or like cut your fucking movie down.
I kind of like having like a break, get up and stretch.
For a 4-hour movie, same, but then like I would rather just not watch a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, I don't know any. I just like it's about some guy. I don't even know anything about it. It's about an architecture. Well, I mean, brutalism. I think it's an architect, but I don't know the gist really. Other than that, it's been critically acclaimed. Adrian Brody gave a speech, and I discovered as I was watching, my wife was like, "Oh yeah, you know, do you know who he's thanking right now?" And he was thanking his girlfriend, Georgina, who is Georgina Chapman, who is Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife.
Yep.
So they're together. I didn't know that.
Adrian Brody is a fucking creep. I don't fucking like him. I don't like anything about him. I'm not a fan. He annoys me. He's bothersome. I mean, have you seen the reason why he is banned from SNL for the rest of his life?
No.
Wait,
I didn't know this. He's banned from Saturday Night Live?
Oh yeah, look it up. Adrian Brody banned from SNL. The video might come up. He basically, like, you know, when like the host is like, you know, and now musical guest Ariana Grande or whatever, like whoever the musical guest is, he was doing that, but instead of just doing it like normal, like you would say, like Lorne Michaels told him to do, he went backstage and got this like wig. It's like a Rastafarian like dreadlocks wig with like a you know, like Jamaican flag color hat like on it. So like, you know, like racist for him to be wearing this wig. And then he goes and he starts speaking like what do you call it? Like fucking Chet Hanks learned how to speak it, like patois. He's like I'm not even gonna do it because it's so offensive. But like he like said this like insane like nonsense patois in this like really offensive accent, and then they like cut to the band, and then it was like, well, you can never do this again, Adrian Brody, because we can't trust you to like not go backstage and put on a crazy racist wig and like say a bunch of wild shit before the band goes on.
He like thought he was being funny, and it turned out he was just like being offensive.
Yeah, he was just being like really and like the idea that anybody would think what he's doing is funny is like wild, because it is not. It's objectively unfunny and objectively super racist.
Yeah. Like, don't play the racial humor, you know.
Yeah. Also, just like don't play the humor at all when you're just supposed to be introducing the musical guests. Like, that's how the show goes. You're not supposed to like insert your comedy bit into the introduction of the musical guests. Like, that's wild.
Yeah, it's like I have this sometimes where I'm like, something will seem funny to me, and then I'll like tell a friend,
and they're like, "That's super racist, Brad. Holy shit!"
No, they'll just be like, "It's not funny," or like they'll just be like, "No response," and then I'll be like, I think maybe like my sense of humor is just very specific.
Yeah, I think this also, like, you would never say something this profoundly unfunny as what Adrian Brody did, because you're not like a crazy asshole. Like, that's like, it's like one thing to be like, I think this is kind of funny and other people don't. But like, it's another thing to like put on like a Rastafarian fucking wig and like go like talk like you're from Jamaica. Like,
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not
yeah,
doing that. So wait, is this incident on Saturday Night Live like the source of your disdain?
it's one of the sources of my disdain. I mean, another thing that I'll say is, should this be? I don't know. Whatever. My husband went to school in New York, to the Fame school. I maybe mentioned before, like the movie Fame is about the school, and Nicki Minaj went there, Timothy Chalamet went there, and I guess Adrian Brody went there, and he came in to give a talk when Tyler was going to school there, and Adrian Brody then proceeded to really aggressively hit on Tyler's girlfriend, his high school age girlfriend. Um, so that's another reason why I'm not a big fan.
How old was he when this happened? Like, was Adrian Brody old?
Yeah,
Like,
he was like a full adult. Like, he was like, I mean,
but,
he's like 15, 20 years older than us. Like,
so
so,
he's,
you
so
know,
he's like my age.
yeah, like, yeah, yeah, I think he is.
So that would mean, though, I'm just trying to place this. So like, if Tyler was in high school, that would mean like
He
Adrian
would have
Brody
been
was
like
like
35 and
he
like,
would have been like close to your age now.
yeah, hitting
Hit,
on a 16-year-old.
and it was 100% clear he was hitting on her.
Yeah. Tyler was like, to this day, I remember because it was so fucking creepy. And like, my girlfriend was so weirded out by it.
Oh, she wasn't into it.
No, she's fucking old.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, get away from me. But
Like a whole adult.
I follow Adrian Brody on Instagram.
Oh, really? What does he post like?
He posts these really sweet, like earnest selfie videos where he's like walking through the streets of London and he's like, "Hey everybody,
Oh, God.
just feeling so grateful," and like stay positive out there. Honestly, I'm like, I don't, I'm like, I can't imagine doing this. Like, I can't imagine that's my social media presence. But there's something so earnest about it that I'm kind of charmed sometimes. I'm like, oh, this guy just seems like he's happy, but maybe that's a performance. I don't fucking know.
Or maybe he is happy, but that doesn't seem great either because he's clearly not that great of a person. So either way, I'm not
Yeah,
happy.
I don't know. I mean, and it's like, I don't know. I don't want to like impugn somebody's character. I don't know this guy, and I don't know Georgina Chapman, but it's like so strange to me to be like, I cannot imagine as a guy like dating Harvey Weinstein's ex. That seems
Pretty
heavy.
hot though.
She's super hot. I don't know. Like, and like, again, there's no rules, and they're neither of them should be held responsible for Harvey Weinstein's behavior. But it's just like, woof.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't pretend to know what her marriage to Harvey Weinstein was like, and she's likely a victim as well, but I don't trust Adrian Brody.
This is interesting. I'd never heard this before. Like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody with the "I don't trust Adrian Brody" line. Like, usually it like circulates.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. I mean, like, the thing is, like, it did circulate when he did that crazy racist SNL thing, and then all the SNL cast was like, he was incredibly difficult. We couldn't stop him from taking this wig. Like, it was like a total nightmare for us. Like, I do feel like the SNL cast is often a pretty good barometer of like how horrible somebody is, and like the stories that come out later on about them. And the stories about Adrian Brody are not great.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Well, he triumphed at the Golden Globes. He looks like he's probably the favorite for the Academy Award.
Is he on Ozempic?
I'm not 100% sure. He's definitely skinny as a rake. I mean, this guy has like 0% body fat.
Yeah, he's really always been skinny as a fucking rake too. His face is like 20 feet long. He's like,
hey, he's got a unique look. I kind of dig it. Guys,
here's a fun joke. Adrian Brody walks into a bar and the bartender says, "Why the long face?"
I think he gives hope to men like me with big noses. Like, come on.
Your nose is not Adrian Brody level. That it's like,
well, I mean,
you can't even put yourself in the same category as that man.
But I think what's interesting to him about him is like how photogenic he is, and like
He's beautiful.
Yeah, in a way that's like not, but doesn't like hew to like conventional standards of like male beauty or whatever.
Kind of taps into that like American predisposition to being attracted to Kennedys. Like I feel like there's like a like kind of tall Jewish looking big nose kind of thing that like Adrian Brody is like birthed from, that like is why Americans find him so attractive.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what it is. And he's got like kind of a sad, like soulful, like he can play sad well. You know, his face looks sad.
Yeah, he's got a very interesting expressive face. I feel like it got him far in acting. Like he's definitely got like a, because he is like handsome classically, but he's also just got like a very like cartoonish face. Like you could see somebody doing like a caricature of him that's like really accurate.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He's like a face that like begs to be like drawn by like
Yeah.
one of those guys like down at the Santa Monica Pier, you know.
Yeah, right, exactly.
So good for him. Congratulations, Adrian Brody, on your big success. And then it's interesting, as a sidebar, I just stumbled upon this story when I was like, reading about the Golden Globes, that Luigi Mangione, Mira's favorite, felon.
Assassin.
Yeah, Mira's favorite assassin. He has retained Harvey Weinstein's prison consultant.
What is a prison consultant?
That's what I want to know. I'm like, I didn't even know this shit existed. But apparently, like Luigi, I guess, he's got resources and he's hiring the best.
A prison consultant.
Luigi Mangione, according to page 6, Luigi Mangione has retained Harvey Weinstein's prison consultant, Craig Rothfeld.
Oh, it's somebody who helps you like prepare for and navigate the prison system.
Yeah, Rothfeld said of the disgraced movie mogul after he was convicted for felony sex crimes, quote, "I'm talking to him about the first 90 days. They are very dark. They're very uncomfortable because you're on buses in handcuffs and leg shackles. You can't get packages. It's very scary. What it will be like for him is you're powerless." So maybe he just like psychologically prepares you for like what's to come.
Yeah, looking it up just now is what it looks like. It's like they kind of prepare you psychologically and say like, this is what's going to happen. Here's where you're going to go. This is like, how you do XYZ thing. Like you're not going to get packages. You're going to be shackled, like shit like that. And in that sense, he probably got like the best one if it's like Harvey Weinstein's prison consultant. So that's good.
I guess you need somebody. I mean, can't you kind of intuit or deduce you're not going to be able to get packages. You're in fucking jail.
I mean, but you can get packages in jail generally. Just like not
for the first couple months.
Days. Yeah. So it's like, there's like all these weird, I mean, like, I don't know if I would be able to like understand prison right away. Like, I think it's like, a privilege to be able to have like somebody who's going to explain it all to you. But like, I could see that being helpful. Like, okay, how do I send an email? How do I like make a phone call? How do I make sure there's money in my commissary? Like, how do I, what happens after 90 days? When's my parole hearing? Like, or whatever the fuck.
Damn. So yeah, what a job. There's like that's kind of the takeaway for me is I'm always amazed when I learn about some like weird specialized profession like this. Like I had no idea that prison consultant was even a thing you could be.
Yeah, there's a lot of really, especially in the legal field. I mean, just like the criminal justice system is so impossible to navigate. I have to imagine there's like all kinds of weird liaison middle people who like make a bunch of money off this.
Just to be like, you're not going to be able to get packages. It's going to be scary.
That's the only thing you've taken away from this.
You're gonna sleep. Packages. Yeah, you're gonna take a dump on a toilet with no door.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the guy in the park.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be like staring at another like convicted felon while you
want to make eye contact when you're doing that.
Yeah, if you don't make eye contact during defecation, you could get killed in prison.
Jesus Christ, that's fucking dark.
It's just the way things go. It's how the prisoners like to do it, and you need to make sure you follow the rules.
I mean, it's probably like not a great silver lining, but I'll bet he's like the most popular guy in prison. I'll bet everyone loves him. Like that's how it was in the other prison. Like he showed up and everybody was immediately like, "Hell yeah, brother!" Like,
I wonder. He's also very good looking. He's probably going to get a lot of action.
Don't you make a prison rape joke on this podcast, Brad. I will cancel you.
Oh, I think it'll be passionate. I think it won't be rape.
No. You're going to get yourself canceled so big right now. That's my job to say, like, Brad, we're going to end this now before you get canceled as your podcast consultant.
But wait a minute. I thought part of the appeal of Luigi Mangione is that he's like universally hot, right? Like everybody loves him. Everybody wants to have sex with him.
Right.
So... I mean, in a completely like denuded, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it's like nobody's getting any action in prison typically, right? Maybe he'll be like the guy that wakes people up, wakes up their libidos.
Nope, I'm gonna end this. We're cutting this off on to the next story. I tried to let you go for a little bit there, and you just kind of dug yourself deeper and deeper into a hole. So
good to know.
So
thanks for saving me. But Luigi Mangione is universally hot. We can agree on that.
Yeah, he's beautiful. He's like insanely hot. He's ripped and gorgeous and Italian, and got mafia family, and he's beautiful eyebrows. And
he's gonna die in jail. That's probably what they've got in store for him.
But he wasn't shot in the back.
Yeah. I wonder, do you think he'll get life? That's what they'll probably go for. They're going to try to
death penalty.
Are they?
I think they're trying. Yeah, I mean, we don't know for sure, but there's talk that they're going to go for the death penalty, which is wild in New York, and which is probably why they're trying to hit him with the terrorist charge so they can do the Patriot Act shit and then get a special death penalty exception.
Just to send a message you don't fuck with CEOs.
Yeah, because all the people who did school shootings and fucking all these fucking Kyle Rittenhouse, they're not terrorists, right? But the guy who shot one fucking rat-faced motherfucker on the street, that's a terrorist.
Yeah. Well, Zendaya and Tom Holland are engaged to be married.
Good for them. They seem cute together.
They do. They're a little bit of an odd couple, but I think I like them together. They seem to have well, not kind.
They're funny together. They're they have I can see where it works with them. They're they've got a cute little rapport.
And he is I've seen videos on online where he's very courtly. He's clearly what's the word for it?
He's
protective
of her in a sweet way.
Yeah, but he's also she's kind of out of his league. He's sort of
oh yeah, absolutely.
What do you call that when a guy is
punching out of his
punching out of his league or something?
Yeah, he's punching beyond his weight.
That's right. So
he's past his natural pull zone.
Yeah, and she's so stunning. She's this statuesque beauty.
Foot taller than him, which I just love watching them walk down the street. She gets her arm all the way around him.
Yeah.
And he's look at my hot wife. Hell yeah.
So I wonder where they're going to get married. I guess we don't know details.
No, her ring is beautiful though, and that man has the confidence of a real short king.
It's a short king. That's what they call confident short guys.
Yeah, it's it's a term used to refer to short guys as being hot and good and fun and nice husbands and kings and not just short people.
How tall is he? So was he?
I mean, shorter than Zendaya is really tall, I think, but he's shorter than her. Let's see. I'm gonna guess he's 5'8".
Yeah, I'm saying 5'8", and she's 5'10" or something.
Let's see. I'm gonna look up Tom Holland. You look up Zendaya. Tom Holland height. Okay, Tom Holland is.
Zendaya is 5'10". I was right.
Tom Holland is 5'5".
Is he really?
Yeah. A real short king.
Aw, well, good for them.
Yeah, that's cute. I like them.
They're young and adorable. They seem nice. That's the thing about them is
I like her.
They seem nice. I don't think either one of them is going to get canceled by the cast of Saturday Night Live.
No, I agree on that. I don't think either one of them. And I think if they were going to, it probably would have already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem good. I like them. Let's see. Did they announce that at the Golden Globes?
I mean, it seems like the story sort of broke. It happened over the holidays. I don't know how much,
Oh, it was her ring was out at the Golden Globes.
Yeah, so people kind of figured it out, and then they made the announcement. But the last story that I have from the Globes, Nikki Glaser, the comedian who hosted, shared the, quote, insane Ben Affleck divorce jokes that she cut from her monologue.
It's not that insane.
What is it?
She said, and I just did all these toasts that were roasts. She said, here's to Ben Affleck. I can't wait to see which Jennifer you try to ruin next.
Oh, I mean, that's silly. That's not even that good of a joke. Let's see. She did have a good Ben Affleck joke, though, that was in the show where she said, tonight we celebrate the best of film and hold space for television. And then she listed a few of the films that were nominated. And she said, yes, Wicked, Queer, Night Bitch. These are not just words Ben Affleck yells after he orgasms. These are some of the incredible movies. I thought that was a funny joke.
Night Bitch is
And
that's
Wicked because he's from Boston.
wicked.
Yeah. So that's a good joke. I thought she did a decent job as the host. I actually like the thing about her. I don't know if do you know Nikki Glaser?
Not really.
Like she's like really filthy. That's kind of her act. Is that she's like the woman who will kind of say anything and is like very sexual in her act oftentimes.
I feel like I've heard of so many female comedians who are like, the thing about her is she's edgy and sexual and she like doesn't care. It's like,
well, that's what I've heard. I mean, I've heard her interviewed on the radio and stuff, and like she's funny. She's funny. I just felt like maybe the Golden Globes, like it was like the wrong. Like she's great. The other place that I think I even first heard of her was on these roasts.
Oh, yeah.
She's hilarious. Like she roasted Tom Brady, and it was like so fucking funny. But it was also like really inappropriate, and she couldn't really do that at the Golden Globes.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of a waste to have any host besides Amy Poehler and Tina Fey at the Golden Globes. They're just the best ones.
Yeah, they're good. I thought Ricky Gervais to me, like he really roasted the crowd, and like
the only funny thing that man has ever done is the British Office, the one season of the British Office, and being a host for the Golden Globes.
I don't think he's ever going to be asked back to host.
Which is how you know he was a really good host.
Yeah, and but you don't like him? Are you anti? I can sense like animosity.
He's annoying. Don't you find him annoying?
I don't find him anyway because I don't pay attention to him.
Well, I mean, neither do I. But like the times where I've had to be confronted with him existing, I've found him really annoying.
Yeah, he's probably just like an angry nerd, right? He's just a nerd from England who like grew up and became famous.
Which is like why he was good in The Office, because he was basically playing himself, and it was like really hilariously awkward and just like uncomfortable. But once he starts actually being himself, then it's less funny.
I think he too, like the vibe I get off of him is that he's a working class person by birth, and so to be in that room around he just hates it.
Yeah, or he like hates some of it and pretends to hate other parts of it. Like something about him seems very phony, and like he's like putting on an act, like he's constantly trying to impress people or something. Like
maybe, but who's he trying to? I mean, as long as he's trying to impress the right people, I don't know.
I mean, as long as he's trying to impress Brad Listi,
that's right.
I'm for it.
That's right. As long as I'm satisfied.
Brad Listi or Mira Gonzalez, if he's trying to impress one of those two, thumbs up.
So the other thing that's frustrating for me about these award shows is that I usually have not seen most of the like films and TV shows that are being nominated. So like I have no context.
I kind of don't either this year, honestly. Like I used to kind of watch these movies more like because like my grandpa or grandma would have like screeners, and then I'd be like, oh, might as well watch this movie or whatever. But my DVD player broke last year and I never got a new one, so I'm like not up to date with this stuff anymore. And like I just can't really bother myself to like, I don't know, rent or download something like The Brutalist. Like I just don't care.
Yeah, it's like enough already. But
yeah, it's just like I don't know. Like I've seen like, I mean, I saw Wicked. I don't even know what else I've seen. I saw The Substance.
Did you see Demi Moore's speech?
Did I see Demi Moore's speech?
When she
I
won?
saw her hair flip.
She had a great dress. I'll give her that.
She looked beautiful. Like
she looks, like whatever's going on with her plastic surgeon.
Stunning.
Like,
she looks fucking phenomenal.
She looks fantastic.
Have you seen her dog Pilaf? I was really hoping Pilaf would be there. He's like this tiny, like way smaller than Baby Dog. Like literally, like you could hold him in one hand easily, like a puppy. And it's just this fucked up little chihuahua with crazy bug eyes that has a tongue sticking out one side of its mouth. And she's taking him to like every single like press event for The Substance. Like every interview is just she's holding this fucked up tiny little dog, and it is incredible. They're an incredible duo.
That's a smart strategy. She's trying to win that Oscar. She's not fucking around.
You know what? I hope she does. I thought she was great in that movie. I thought it was like a movie that was like, haha, had little substance to it, but she was so good. Like she was like, there's like one scene in that movie, and I think anyone who's seen it knows what I'm talking about, that like, I think that alone, she deserves the award for it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought her speech was maybe the most striking speech of the night. I got a little emotional. I felt for her because she was like, this is the, okay, it's kind of like a combination. It's like the perfect blend of like the two ways that I usually feel watching these speeches. There was a part of me that was like really happy for her because it was a big moment. Like the industry was recognizing her for the first time. Like I sort of get it. But then she's like, this is the first time I've ever won anything. I'm 62 years old. And I'm like thinking about like most people never win shit. Like, like,
Most people aren't as successful as Demi Moore.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like most people just go through their lives and then like they die and just get like turned to ash. And like you're up there like,
Yeah, no, that's, I mean, certainly true. But at the same time, I get what you're saying though, because it is like she is 62 years old and it is her first time winning anything. And she is like a very, like, she's been working her whole damn life. She's like,
yeah, yeah.
she's been working hard, really hard for this, like, this industry for so long. And it
has
is like,
made a lot of money for it. She's made a lot of big movies,
She has. And it's actually shocking to me that she hasn't like won an award before. Like I didn't know that. That's like, I don't know. It makes me feel like there's like a couple things like this recently, and I can't remember exactly who, but where it's like somebody from who's like an older woman who like people are beginning to like appreciate again for like the first time in a long time. Like Jennifer Coolidge, for example, I've seen this happen with her role in White Lotus and stuff like that. And like that always does make me happy where I'm like, okay, yes, like,
yeah, people who are like lifers who finally get like the right. I think a lot of it is just like the right opportunity. You get the right material, and like.
And I think there's more opportunities, more and more arising recently for older women too. And I think that must be what it is that there's like roles for them that are being written for them specifically by people who were their fans when they were younger and like are like, okay, we're going to write the substance for Demi Moore, and it's like it's her role, or we're going to write, the Jennifer Coolidge role in White Lotus, and that's like for her.
Or Baby Girl for Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, totally. I mean, God, Nicole Kidman is just such a fucking icon. I love her so much. Like, what a queen. She's
a great actress.
They did that like on the red carpet. Letterboxd, the website.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's like for those who don't know, it's like Goodreads where you can like log every movie that you watch, basically. And they'll have a person on the red carpet who will just ask celebrities like, "What are your top 4 favorite movies?" And Nicole Kidman said, okay, so, she's like, oh, my top 4. Okay. So it's going to be Clueless, The Piano Teacher. Just fired those 2 right off the top of her head. And like, have you seen The Piano Teacher?
Is that with Holly Hunter?
Huppert?
With who?
Isabelle Huppert.
Maybe. There was some. I think Holly Hunter was in The Piano, and then there was there was The Pianist with Adrian Brody.
Right, not that one. The Piano Teacher, where she's like a masochist or I don't know, but she's like the first scene, one of the very early scenes in the movie is her like taking a razor blade like out of like her like pocket that's been delicately like wrapped in like a tissue and like cutting her own vagina with it. First scene in the movie. And Nicole Kidman goes to Letterboxd and she goes, okay, Clueless and The Piano Teacher.
Okay, Clueless is the Alicia Silverstone coming of age comedy.
Yeah.
Which is a good movie.
Incredible. 2 incredible movies that are so funny to put back to back. Like she just knew off the top of her head, okay, those are the top 2. And then the other 3 were like, took her a second.
What were they? Do you remember?
I don't remember. But they were also good. I remember being like, oh yeah, that's...
What are your top 4 movies? I can never answer questions like this.
That's so hard. And it's a question that like we asked this question over the holidays too. Like for holiday dinners, it's a question that my mom and I like really like to ask over and over again. Like, okay, top 3 favorite movies of all time, because every year, every family member has a different answer because you just remember different movies every year. Like it's never the same. Because, like, how do you have only 4 favorite movies? It means that you don't really watch a lot of movies, if that's the case.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm just thinking, like, how do you define favorite? It's like, is it because you think it's, like, the highest cinematic achievement, or because it just brings you joy, or, like, it's, like, a comfortable... Right. Like, some of these movies I watch over and over again, like, I have been watching, just because it's been on, like, HBO or whatever, and it's always on HBO, but I watch No Country for Old Men every time it's on.
I love that movie. I like have watched it so many times.
It's so weird that a movie that like outwardly disturbing would become like a comfort movie, but there's something about it that like I just love the characters that I'm like Javier Bardem
So fucking good.
Like, it's just iconic, and it's like
It's
such a
iconic.
perfect movie. It's perfect.
It's
Like,
perfect. It's
yeah.
like a literally perfect movie. And
And
like,
Tommy Lee Jones,
oh,
like,
so fucking good. I mean, like, it's just everything about that movie is incredible. And I guess, like, for me, it's not as shocking that it would be a movie I'd watch over and over again because I just love to watch fucked up. Like, disturbing movies are like my favorite thing to watch over and over
but
again.
usually it's like, Dazed and Confused, or like Star Wars, or some, kind of like
Right.
popcorny, like funny, like hangout movie. But like, I just love, like,
I
I've
love
been
that.
kind of working on a Tommy Lee Jones impression.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It'll do till the mess gets here. I don't know.
That's that's one of your better ones, maybe.
Yeah, I wish I had like the lines. What does he say?
Oh, see, I can't remember. I've seen it so many times, and I can't remember a single one.
I'm worried about your boy, Carla Jean.
Carla.
He kind of has this like quiet delivery, but it's like so great. And McCormick McCarthy, it's all so good.
So good. I mean, it's yeah, truly. I mean, like, and those are the movies that I feel like I always like want to list because they're like the movies that I'm watching over and over again. But then I'm like, well, there's also like the Cluelesses and like Bring It On and Legally Blonde, like these movies that I've like Breakfast at Tiffany's, like that I've like loved, but are much like lighter. It just seems like I could do top 4 directors a lot easier, I think, than top 4 movies.
Who are your top 4 directors?
See, I said that now immediately. I'm like, oh god, I don't know if it's that easy. Like David Lynch for sure. John Waters. See, I'm like Nicole Kidman, where I've got 2, and now like the other ones are like kind of a toss up.
I would say I love the Coen brothers.
Yeah, Coen Brothers.
Their whole, like, to me, they're the best. Like, their whole, like, contemporary,
Yeah. P.T. Anderson.
I like P.T. Anderson a lot, and I like Steven Spielberg a lot, which I think is like a normie attitude. But like, when you really look at like all the films he's done, he's incredible.
He's got some stinkers.
Oh, well, they all do. They all do. Like, everyone's got a variance, but like, he makes like Jurassic Park. He makes Munich. Yeah. He makes like Minority Report. He makes Saving Private Ryan. It's like just like the breadth of what he's been able to do is really impressive.
That's true. I mean, my running rule is that if a director has 3 truly great films, then they're a great director in my book. And Steven Spielberg passes that easily.
Easily. And and the reason I pick him is just because I feel like people don't pick him because he's like too obvious. But like, the dude is he's a beast. And
it's true.
I like Terrence Malick, though he's a little, can
interesting. What's your favorite Terrence Malick movie?
I think the first one that really Badlands and Days of Heaven really impressed me when I was like a film student.
Fun fact about Badlands. My grandmother did the costumes for them. The costumes are now at the Oscar Museum, and you can go see them in real life. She was uncredited because back then they did not credit costume designers.
Well, it's a great film, and I feel like Days of Heaven is such a beautiful film to look at. Yeah. But I think like The Thin Red Line is maybe the one that I find
that is an incredible movie. I don't know. Like,
did you know Adrian Brody got cut out of that movie? He was supposed to be the lead. He was supposed to be the lead.
It has so many fucking guys in it. It's like you watch it now and you're just like famous actor when he's 20. Like just like the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Malick hadn't worked since Days of Heaven when that movie. I remember when that movie came out, and I was in like just out of film school. It came out in 1998, and so I was like, this is so cool. Like, we got to go. And I went to the theater like on opening night, in Denver. I dragged a friend of mine who like had no idea like what the importance of it was or whatever, and totally like stapled to our seats in the movie theater. It was a great film, but the thing about it is that I want to say Malick had hired Adrian Brody to be the James Jones character because The Thin Red Line is a James Jones novel. But the way that Malick makes his films is he kind of makes it up on, like, he just shows up with cameras and starts like telling people to like improvise, and then he'll like,
God, it seems so hellish being like a crew, like not even as an actor, but like a crew member. It's like the days must just go on, and you're just like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna have to do today, and it's just gonna be like a whole, like, it's gotta be crazy.
And then he finds the movie in the edit, and he just was like, yeah, actually the movie that I want to make has nothing to do with the James Jones character, so sorry we told you you were going to be the lead. but you're like actually not even in the film. How bitter
That's
would
so
you be?
funny. That's so fucking funny. That is so funny.
Yeah.
God. I mean, it's just yeah, Schadenfreude about Adrian Brody, I guess. That movie is like a crazy one. It's like almost kind of like Law and Order in that it features a lot of really famous actors before they were famous. You know, like it's like a
Well,
lot of
Woody
like,
Harrelson, Sean. I mean,
yeah,
they were famous when they were in it. But George Clooney's in it.
George Clooney.
Ted Danson's in it. Like
Yeah,
some,
right.
I actually found that kind of distracting. Like you're in the middle of like Guadalcanal and World War II in the Pacific Theater, and suddenly like, Ted Danson's like,
That was like the funniest part was just like watching being like, oh, Lawrence Fishburne, oh, Ted Danson, like just like over and over again, like, oh, John C. Reilly, what the fuck, like.
yeah, okay, I guess he was in it too. Yeah, Adrian Brody, like I think appears in the movie, but he's just not like,
He's not a main.
And then what's his name? Jim Caviezel is like the protagonist of that film.
Yeah.
And he went on to become like, he's like Mel Gibson's muse.
Jesus Christ, that is so fucking dark.
Jesus Christ,
so
indeed.
grim. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to high school with a girl whose dad like co-wrote The Passion of the Christ, like with, I don't know if he was like the main co-writer, but he might have been. He would give us wine when we were 16, so we thought he was really cool. We would just show up and he'd be like, oh, you guys want some wine? Pour it's like a fucking gigantic, like, here you go.
Jesus likes wine.
Yeah, Jesus, you know, this used to be water.
That's right. Yeah, so I would say Malick, the Coen brothers. I like Richard Linklater's films too. Like I like his general project. I like the idea of him like meditating on time and like the way that he's experimented.
All right.
What's that? Yeah, I don't know. I really like the movie Boyhood. I thought that was super cool, like to film it over 12 years. And
it's kind of a gimmick, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of who else I like. Stanley Kubrick I like.
Oh, Kubrick, yeah. I would put Kubrick up there for sure. That's yeah, definitely. Honestly, I would say Ari Aster, even though he's like new and young. Like all three of his movies are some of my favorite movies of all time.
Scorsese, Spike Lee.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, just all the ones everybody likes, right? They just make
not
good movies.
Francis Ford Coppola. I do not care for him. Apocalypse Now is great.
Godfather's great. Those are great films.
Okay, yeah, no, that's true. Godfather.
He's really good, and when he's good.
Does he have 3 though? I feel like he only has, for me, Apocalypse Now and The Godfather 1.
Well, and Godfather 2 is even better.
Is it though?
Yeah. And then he also directed, I think, The Conversation that Gene Hackman won Best Picture. I think. I'm not the greatest film historian.
That one's nah.
He's in the pantheon. He's in the pantheon, but there's a lot of up and comers. I mean, I'm trying to. There's probably like people we're forgetting.
I mean, Ari Aster is like the main up and comer, I would say.
Or Damien Chazelle. That guy's a good director, right?
Yeah, he's all right.
He did.
I like Robert Eggers. He's good.
What did he do?
He did The Witch and The Lighthouse, and then Nosferatu most recently.
Oh, okay. And I just watched another movie. I just watched on over the break was Hell or High Water. Did you ever see that?
I don't think so.
The one with Jeff Bridges and Chris Pine. It's like a Western. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I love Jeff Bridges.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's like it's about a bank heist. Like these brothers basically are trying to get out of poverty, so they start robbing banks. You would like it.
Yeah, that seems good. I'm down.
All right. So what else we got, Mira? On our list.
Our next story is about Lala Kent, who is a former star of one of my favorite TV shows, Vanderpump Rules. And because I've seen that show so many times, I actually already knew this, which is really fucked up. But Lala Kent says that she puts breast milk in her coffee, which is kind of funny. I feel like it's a.
I don't know. I'm not a fan. I'm looking at. There's a picture of her. There's a picture of her in like a bathrobe, and she's pumping, and she's got a bathrobe on, and she's kind of sitting crisscross applesauce on a hardwood floor, and she's got a mug in her hand, and there's a man's face on the mug. I can't tell who it is, and this isn't the first time Lala turned to her own supply to brighten up a cup of joe, writes TMZ.
Mm-hmm.
Lala admitted back in 2021 that she put her, quote, booby milk in her morning coffee after running out of creamer at home. You know what? Just calling it booby milk, you're losing me in a serious way. But
And sorry, TMZ, but real heads will know that she put breast milk in her coffee in an episode of Vanderpump Rules, and we saw her pour it from the bottle into her coffee. So
that's fucking gross. I'm sorry. I draw the line. Like, I
no,
know
it's really gross.
It's
just
natural. I get it. Like, it's for babies. Like, it's great. Nurse your kid in public. Yeah. Don't be pouring it in your coffee. You're just, this is just.
Did you know that it's a very good psoriasis treatment, though? Putting breast milk on psoriasis patches, it's like one of the best treatments you can get.
I'm sure it's got to be good for you, right?
Oh, yeah. It's got like all those fucking, what are the things that make a baby have an immune system?
Amino acids? I don't know. I have
probably has that too. I don't know. But it has like antibodies and shit like that.
Right. Exactly. Well, I mean, I keep reading about, I feel like there's an article every week about how there are like forever chemicals in food and in water.
Oh yeah, our bodies are full of microplastics.
It's never like it's over, right? If they're forever, then they're already there.
Yeah,
so
they're there already.
So we're screwed.
So we're fucked. Yeah, even in newborn babies, they're in there. It's like went from fucking lead to asbestos to microplastics.
Thanks, industry.
Every generation is going to be poisoned by poison, and if that's something that you just accept at a pretty young age, then you can have fun. You can have fun poisoning your body instead of just letting your body get poisoned.
I mean, it's like there's just no way. The thing is, like, is there any way to avoid it? Like, what can I do?
There's literally nothing you can do, and everybody will tell you, "Oh, you could do X, Y." No, you can't do shit. You're fucked.
It's just part of us now.
It's just, I mean, they're forever chemicals. They're part of us now. Nothing to be done.
So I feel like, okay, here's a question though. Does this woman really put breast milk in her coffee, or is she just trying to get attention?
On God, there is an episode, and I will send you the clip of Vanderpump Rules. I will find it after this, where she has a cup of coffee and she is pumping, and she takes a bottle and pours it directly from her tit into her coffee and drinks it.
Yeah, I know. I know she probably did it, but the question is, like, was it a publicity stunt, or is this like how she rolls? You know what I'm saying?
She's talked about it for years with her first kid, and now with her second kid. Like, it's something she does.
What if Lala Kent is the one person whose body is not filled with microplastics because she drinks her own breast milk? Maybe that's the key.
There's only one way to find out.
That's right.
Men can lactate too, Brad.
Yeah, I've been on an internet search at some point in my life. Like, somehow I was like, oh yeah, you went down like a rabbit hole about lactating men. That's an interesting one.
Men can breastfeed children if they're given the right hormones.
Well, and I know, but I was reading about it was some like indigenous man and like somewhere like in the Amazon or whatever, but he was a widower. Because his wife died when they had a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like one of those, and then he just started lactating to feed the baby.
What the fuck? That is wild.
Yeah.
There was I knew a kid in elementary school who was adopted, and his mom like forced herself into lactating when she adopted this baby and breastfed him.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know how the fuck you do it, but I was like, damn, that is like real dedication. Like, holy fuck. Like, I don't even know how the fuck you do that. I'm
lactating right now.
Yeah, I can tell. Your shirt's soaking wet.
But I lactate oat milk because I'm a vegan. So.
Disgusting. That's more disgusting than breast milk. I would rather breast milk be coming out of your titties.
I'm going to send you a bottle of my lactated oat milk. just loaded with microplastics.
I love the microplastics. They add a certain flavor.
What are
je ne sais quoi.
I don't even, and like, these things just live in your body forever. That can't be good.
I think it's great.
It's so annoying.
It's annoying. That's one word for it.
Yeah.
Or killing us would be another thing to say.
Yeah, like just some company just being like, yeah, we'll just dump this shit into the river. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Just no problem. We're just going to fucking give everybody these plastics, and we know they leach into the water, but whatever.
Don't mind me. And like, it's just like, profit motive above everything. That's it.
That's all it is.
Bastards. Well, Mira and I, over the break, had an exchange one day when I shared with her the Wikipedia page for Don Johnson, of Miami Vice fame.
And of Dakota Johnson, daughter fame.
He's sired. Is that what you call it when he's a father? You sire Dakota? Or is that the wrong usage? Anyway.
I've never heard that word before.
He's her dad. Don Johnson is the father of Dakota Johnson. And I want to say it was on social media. Somebody was like, you got to read Don Johnson's Wikipedia page. It's crazy. And I did. And it's like uniquely nuts. And I thought it would be funny just to like read it out loud. So Mira, why don't you read? Can you read the personal life section, the relationships and family section of Don Johnson's Wikipedia page? We
So
can go.
fucking insane. So, okay. Johnson has been married 5 times to 4 women and has 4 children with 2 of them. 1 daughter with Melanie Griffith, Dakota Johnson, and then 3 children with Kelly Flegger, plus 1 son with Patty d'Arbanville. 3 of his marriages were brief. The first 2 annulled within a matter of days. Wild. The names of Johnson's first 2 wives have not been made public, though he has said one of them was a dancer and the other one was a, quote, rich bimbo. Circa 1971, Johnson lived with self-described groupie Pamela DeBarris. In the first half of 1972, Johnson met Melanie Griffith, the 14-year-old daughter of his Herod Experiment co-star Tippi Hedren. The pair moved in together when Griffith was 15 and Johnson was 23. On her 18th birthday, they became engaged and were married in January 1976. They separated that July and divorced in November. So,
like that right there is a lot to process.
So, okay. First of all, his first 2, we still don't know the identity of his first 2 wives at all. That's alone is crazy. That's wild.
3 of his marriages were brief. The first 2 were annulled within a matter of days.
2 marriages annulled in days, and we don't know who the women are. But
one of them was a dancer, and one of them was a rich bimbo.
And then, okay, like, Melanie Griffith, how old is your daughter?
14.
So Melanie Griffith was 14 when she started dating Don Johnson, who was 23.
Yeah, that wouldn't go over so well in my house.
Yeah, no, it really would not. I would not be into that either. That is, no. Melanie Griffith being the daughter of his co-star. Tippi Hedren's daughter. You're like, oh yeah, I'm going to fuck your daughter, Tippi Hedren. And she's like, yeah, that's fine.
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Like, fucking insane. So, okay, so they became engaged to Melanie Griffith. They were married in January in 1976 and then separated that July and divorced in November. So again, a separation happening in a matter of months after dating for 4 years since she was 14. What the fuck? So then in January the following year, he met former Warhol model Patty d'Arbanville.
Wait. In 1980, Johnson dated Sally Adams, the mother of actress. Yeah, the mother of actress Nicolette Sheridan. So that was one relationship.
Nicolette Sheridan of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fame. Real heads will know that she left Harry Hamlin for, I want to say, Michael Bublé, and then Lisa Rinna married him, and now they have been married ever since. That's for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fans out there. Okay, so he started dating Nicolette Sheridan's mom. And then January the following year, he met former Warhol model Patty d'Arbanville at a Los Angeles restaurant. And they lived together for 4 years, but never married, and they had a son.
All right. That sounds like the most normal thing he's done so far.
Yeah, it sounds like, the most normal of all of them, unless she was like 14, in which case, I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Patty d'Arbanville was 7 years old when they met.
So then in her 2000 autobiography, Sybil Shepherd wrote of a liaison with Johnson during the making of the television miniseries Long Hot Summer.
Wait, and Sybil Shepherd, who was like the star of the show Moonlighting, she was also in The Last Picture Show. Her autobiography is called Sybil Disobedience, which is kind of enjoyable.
That's good. I like that.
So he has a fling with Sybil Shepherd, okay, and then next he had a relationship with Barbra Streisand.
Yeah, he had a relationship with Barbra Streisand lasting into 88, so like 3 years.
Hey, can we just say for a second, like Barbra Streisand, she got some ass. Like,
sorry? That ass. I thought you were saying she had like a big ass, and I was like, Brad, hold on.
No. She just she dates really she's not a conventional, I don't think she's a beautiful woman, but not in the conventional beauty standards way, and she's got Don Johnson. She's married to James Brolin, who's an aggressively handsome,
and that's wild to me.
But she's got to have it going on. I don't know what Barbara's doing, but she's got it going on.
Yeah. I mean, she's I almost called Barbara Streisand the throat goat. I want everybody to know, and I'm really sorry. I apologize to Barbara Streisand and her family, and to my family.
Wait, the throat? I don't even know what that means. Am I too old to understand what you meant?
Well, goat means greatest of all time.
Oh, okay.
So maybe you can guess what throat goat might be.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
filthy.
sorry, Barbara Streisand. So, okay, just days after breaking up with Barbara Streisand, Dawn Johnson, then 38 years old, was linked to none other than 18-year-old Uma Thurman.
She was 18.
She was 18, so it was fine.
Yeah. She's an adult.
She's an adult. She can make her own choices with 38-year-old Dawn Johnson. Jesus Christ. So
you rebound off of Streisand, and then you turn to Uma Thurman.
That's fucking insane. So, okay, he then, after breaking up with Uma Thurman, was briefly involved with dead Bang co-star Penelope Ann Miller. And then he reunited with Melanie Griffith. And then they had Dakota Johnson. And then they married again from June of that year until 96. So like
7 years. 7 years.
Wow. And then, Jesus Christ, it just keeps going on. So in 96 to 97, he dated Jodie Lynn O'Keefe, who played his daughter on Nash Bridges. What the fuck? Johnson was 47 and O'Keefe was 18. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so he's got a thing. Jesus. My God. So then in 1999, he married a socialite and Montessori nursing school teacher.
Nursery school, not nursing school.
Not nursing school. Named Kelly Flegger, former longtime girlfriend of Governor Gavin Newsom. What the fuck? And he married her at the Getty Mansion. What in the fuck? And Robert Wagner was the best man.
Mayor Willie Brown presided over the ceremony, and now Johnson is like happily married. They have 3 kids together.
They're still together. Wow.
Yeah. And like she's a Montessori, like a nursery school teacher.
And
but also a socialite. Who fucking knows? But
who is a longtime governor or girlfriend of Governor Gavin Newsom. And he was also best friends with journalist Hunter S. Thompson. And his daughter Dakota saw Thompson as a godfather figure.
And that's it that we know of so far.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Like, okay, so now there's like, they're getting into stuff that is not about his romantic life, which is really insane. So Don Johnson entered powerboat racing in general, and sometimes raced with Kurt Russell and Chuck Norris. In 1986, Don Johnson achieved his first motorsport victory. He won a 1,100-mile powerboat race up the Mississippi River from New Orleans to St. Louis. Characterized by shipmates as aggressive, fearless pilot who did not make mistakes, Johnson became American Powerboat Association's world champion of the Offshore World Cup in 1988.
This guy's amazing.
Fuck, dude?
What a life.
How do you have enough time in your fucking life to do this? Like, you're fucking a bunch of teenagers and like, what the fuck? So, okay. And then in 2002, German customs officers at the Swiss-German border performed a routine check of Johnson's car. Bank statements evidencing $8 billion in transactions were found in the trunk of his car. Holy shit. $8 billion? Dude, that's a billion with a B. I double checked just now. Holy fuck. That is insane.
He was accompanied in his black Mercedes-Benz by 3 men, an investment advisor, a personal assistant, and a third unknown individual who could not be identified. Initially, it was thought that Johnson was involved in money laundering, but he was cleared of wrongdoing.
Then why the fuck did he have $8 billion of transactions in the trunk of his car?
I mean, it just goes on and on. It's just
that
the most
insane.
It's the wildest entry on Wikipedia. I challenge anyone to find one wilder.
So he was cleared of wrongdoing, and then in May 2008, within hours of losing his Woody Creek, Colorado home to foreclosure, Johnson paid off $14.5 million in debt in one lump sum. And then in 2010, a Los Angeles jury awarded him $23.2 million in a lawsuit against production company Reicher Entertainment, from whom Johnson sought a share of profits commensurate with his ownership of half the copyright of Nash Bridges. And they announced they would appeal the verdict, and then they settled the suit for $19 million.
So he's doing fine, I guess.
Yeah, he's doing just fine.
It's just interesting to me too that like he's lived this kind of life. It like never has come back. It doesn't really seem to have come back to have bitten him at all. Like at least in the public sphere, right? He's just like beloved.
He's crazy. He just has this daughter who's like very successful and doing well, and he's like, her mom was 14 when I met her, so what to do. And the timing of that means, I don't know if you know this, Brad, but Melanie Griffith and Tippi Hedren were stars in a movie that was directed by Tippi Hedren's husband, who I can't remember the name of, called Roar, which was a movie that featured real lions as pets. And Tippi Hedren and Melanie Griffith kept lions as pets in their house for years to prepare for this movie. And there's a part in the movie where Melanie Griffith and Tippi Hedren literally are about to get mauled by a lion. And it is horrifying. And that means that Don Johnson started dating Melanie Griffith when she owned lions. So that's just another fun side fact.
Oh my God. Well, I guess he seems like he's living his best life now. He's 75 years old.
Yeah, he's a 75-year-old former pedophile, and he's doing great.
Living his best life.
Living his best life. Best life a former pedophile could live.
Well, I believe it is now time for me to learn.
Brad learns.
Brad learns.
So, that was our Brad Learns song.
And I have to say that today's Brad Learns, I guess, has like a medical element to it, because I read this story about Denise Richards, former wife of Charlie Sheen, I believe mother of his children, right? Didn't they have kids?
Yeah.
And apparently she's claiming that she ruptured her breast implants while filming a season of a show called Special Forces. It's like a reality show, I think. Yeah,
so it's like a reality show where they take former reality stars from other reality shows and they have them like do competitions with each other where they're like, I don't know, running through the mud and jumping off stuff and hurting themselves or whatever the fuck. They just put former reality stars through the ringer.
And so it's like, it's feasible that someone could injure themselves physically.
Yeah, definitely. And like people have, like, it's, there's like it's like it is very believable that she would injure herself for sure.
And you can do this. I guess my question, which I didn't know this, you can rupture a breast implant?
Absolutely. You can. Yeah. So it's like, you have a boob, right? And you, for those who don't know, I'm holding up like a fist to represent a boob. So you cut across like the top of the boob, right? So like this is a boob. You cut across the top of it and you peel it down like that. And you go past the milk ducts and the fat. And then you take, it's like a silicone. Right, it's like
I literally just like, I regurgitated a little bit.
So then they take it's a silicone implant. So it's not like exactly like a bag, but it's like, it's silicone, so it's like, it's squishy. It's like it's not a bag, but it is the kind of thing where if you were to like squish it really hard like that, or if you were to kind of like tear it like that, pieces of the implant would go into the breast tissue.
Microplastics.
Yes, some of the worst kinds of microplastics, in fact. And like they, like now, generally, if you're like a rich person or like somebody who wants to get good breast implants, you get a saline implant. So it's like not an implant exactly, but it's like, it's just liquid that they put in essentially that is like the same consistency as your fat. So it's not like a bag anymore. So like what Denise Richards got was an old style of boob job. Like now you can't really rupture a boob job because it's just liquid that's in your whole tit.
What if you want to get it out? They just drain it?
Yeah. Like if you want to get an implant removed, they just cut you up and they take the implant out. But there is, for example, there's a scene in, or there's like a plot line in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is what Denise Richards was on, where Yolanda Hadid, mother of Bella and Gigi Hadid, gets her breast implants removed because she starts getting very sick, and she starts struggling to be able to breathe. And so she gets her implants removed, and they show physically what the ruptured implant looked like when they took it out of her. Okay. And they were saying it was like the most extended rupture of an implant that the doctor had ever seen. It was
how do you rupture? And like Denise Richards ruptured both of them? Like what the hell happened to her?
I think she only ruptured one.
Oh, okay. I was like, you got to get hit in the
Oh, maybe
chest.
she ruptured both. It looks like she landed. She was like wearing a harness that went over her boobs, and she landed really hard. Like she like didn't hit the ground, but like she was like on a harness that was like above the ground, and well, I think a palm front just snapped and hit my window. Um, she was like on like a harness where there was like a strip of fabric over her boobs, and then the harness like the slack stopped, and she
Okay.
midair was like jerked up, and it ruptured both of her breast implants, which sounds like the most horrendously painful thing I can imagine. Like, holy fucking shit, her boobs exploded.
And then, like, yeah, because what happens to your boobs if it explodes? They become misshapen?
They become, I think they can become misshapen, but also like I think that the breast implant, because it's underneath the milk ducts and the fat, it doesn't it doesn't necessarily like extend into the tit itself as much as it like is in your like chest. So it like goes like in, as opposed to like your boob being malformed. Although I think that can happen, but like with Yolanda Hadid, for example, her tits were fine. She didn't even know her breast implant had ruptured, except that she was struggling to breathe, and they took it out, and they were like, yeah, it just like totally ruptured all over the place.
Damn.
Which is probably why they don't do those kinds of breast implants as much anymore.
Okay. Well, you learn something new every day. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm amazed that you didn't know about this. Is like not the reason that I won't get breast implants, I also just don't want them, but like it is like one of the scariest like plastic surgery issues that can happen. Like it freaks me out so much. I hate it.
I don't, yeah. It's like if you have like a, mastectomy or something, you want to get a breast implant, fine.
Luckily now they have the saline though, so you don't have to fucking do that.
Or yeah, you get the saline. But like otherwise.
Back in the day, it was like, you couldn't get the saline, I guess. But also Denise Richards didn't have a mastectomy. Like, I don't blame her for getting a boob job. Her whole thing was like her body and looking hot or whatever, fine. But like, holy fuck. It's just not worth it.
No.
Not worth it.
You think she'll probably get saline now? She'll just like take them out, give me the new stuff.
I mean, she probably already has, honestly. Like, you can't really leave a ruptured implant in there for too long without, it being all fucked up.
But it's interesting to wonder, like, if once they take out the ruptured, like old school ones, do you think she'll just let it be, or she'll re-implant?
I would imagine that she'll re-implant, or at least like put some saline in there, because like if she had for having implants in as long as she did, and she just got really good implants actually, but like I think your breast tissue gets bigger, and so like your breast will be like extra flat when you take the implant out. And for like Yolanda Hadid, for example, she didn't add implants back in because she was concerned about the rupturing, and she looks fine. And there are surgeries that you can get to like tighten the breast tissue, but her boobs would be small. And so I would imagine she would get at least a little saline in there just because she's Denise Richards.
She was discovered by Don Johnson when she was 16 years old.
You see, I was about to be like, really? God, I wouldn't be surprised. There was a lot of weird shit done to Denise Richards when she was young.
Yeah.
God help her.
God help her. Well, Mira,
the least of it.
I thank you for your insight and your teaching, and it's always great to talk with you. It's been a bit of a break. I imagine you were missing these conversations, so
yes, really.
It's good to see you again, and we'll talk to you next week.
Talk to you next week.